What's up, Increase family? Travis Peters here. I'm going to show you how to live a life you can't wait to wake up for. I got a mission of helping 10,000 Christians make $10,000 a month. That's $100 million a month in the hand of kingdom people. And so one of the ways we do that, I put some links in the description below to help you get started on that journey. If you're making less than $10,000 a month, just click the link below, follow the steps. Let's get you in the fold and let's get you on the path. We've already made a significant dent in that number. I want you to be one of them as well. So that's for the people who are new. Now, well, whether you're new or not, what we're going to dive in today is going to help you with that journey as well. It's going to help you in every area of life because we're going to talk about how the blessing flows, how finances flow into our life when we're living in the kingdom. So this is obviously one of my favorite topics. I want to help you win in the area of faith and finances. And so that's what a lot of these videos are about. If you want more like that, make sure you subscribe to the videos below because I got stuff like this coming out all the time and you want to be signed up so that you see more of them. It'll help you. It'll bless you. I promise. In Luke 6, we're going to talk about something here in just a minute, but this is what kind of kicked this off for me. So a lot of times these stories, these lessons, these things I teach are initiated by an incident. So we had one the other day, and this is not a knock on the person at all. I've experienced something like this over and over and over again, and I've been on both sides of it. So I'm just telling the story that inspired this lesson. So the other day, we went to the zoo with a couple of other families. And this is great. It's fall break with the kids. And we went, we brought our niece. So we had 4 kids. I went, so me and my wife and 4 girls. All right. Then we meet up and it's our other good friend. She brought her 4 kids. And one of them, it was their birthday. And then another friend, she brought her 3 kids. So there's 11 kids total, 4 parents. It was a blast. Weather was great. We're at the zoo, one of my favorite places, right? Just having a great time. And one of the things that God has placed on my heart is, man, we love to give. We love to bless. It lights us up. We say we have a saying in our family, the Peters always prosper. Well, that's because we live a lifestyle of giving. We love it. We love to give. We live to give. We honestly do. It's not something we force or fake. It's the truth. It lights us up. It's always been that way. So we get there and, we blessed the son. It was one of their birthdays, one of the kids' birthdays. So we hook them up with some cash. And then we go up to and I don't know, I'm not saying any of this because the family needed this. We did it because we just love to give. And Lord puts it on your heart, right? So we paid for everybody to get in and that's super fun. Well, later on, man, if you hang out with Trav, hang out with Uncle Trav, here's what life looks like. It's going to be fun. We're going to get cool stuff, and it's going to be a little bit over the top. So when it came time for lunch, me and my wife went and bought all the kids Dippin' Dots, the large size. And yeah, if you look at prices, which doesn't really matter, you're at the zoo. So it's, obviously the prices are super inflated and all that stuff, and it doesn't matter. Like, we want to bring and provide these experiences. We want to be a blessing. Like I said, you hang around Uncle Trav and Aunt Rach, it's going to be a ton of fun. So we got everybody Dippin' Dots. We got them ices. We got them the big old pretzels and just made it a ton of fun. And then after that, we went back and got the adults Dippin' Dots and drinks and stuff too, right? So it just made it a blast. Just made it memorable, right? And again, I don't know, people there might be watching this. This is not a knock or a diss or anything like that. So do not take this that way, please. Do not be offended. I'm telling you, I've done this and I've been on both sides. So it blesses my wife and I to be able to do this. It's really what we have called out. It's what we've declared. It's what we've used our faith for. It's what we've been believing God for years. God, we thank you for the increase so we can be those people. We thank you for more than enough finances so we can be the people that pay for everybody. We can be the people who bless everybody. We make events and experiences over the top. Thank you for the financial increase. Thank you for seed so we have to sow it. Like, that's what we love it, man. And that's available to anybody. It's what I'm helping you. That's the whole point of all this stuff, is so that you can become that person. So I'm not trying to get you to be the person who feels like, oh, they go to the zoo or the carnival or the fair or Disney World, and you got to look at the prices, and you got to, that's not a good value. Like, we should save money and get. I want you to be the person who's like, hey, I'm getting everybody. I mean, I think we spent like $150 at the concession stand. That's awesome. That's how we want it to be. And I don't even want it to be a special, rare thing that we do every once in a while. No, that's what it's like when you hang out with Trav. I want you to be that person too. I think as I'm saying this stuff, you're kind of being like, yeah, I do want to be that. That does sound awesome. I want to be the person. I want to be the person that the blessing can flow through. And that's what the point of this video is today. So one of the families sent us all these texts. I mean, both families were like over the top grateful and thankful, and everybody was awesome, right? It's just a ton of fun. We had a great day. And then later in the day, both families again were texting us, thank you, and you made it so fun, and stuff like that. All good. But one of them, though both grateful, one of them sent us, cash apped us money, and basically about what we spent on them that day. And I don't know, man, to be honest with you, it kind of bugged me. It was kind of like, why I gotta rob me of my blessing? Like, it's funny because it kind of tainted the experience we created. I mean, you should have seen the worker lady with one when we ordered that much. They were kind of like, really? And then she comes out with this huge tray full of the giant Dippin' Dots, just like stacked up for all the kids. It was, like I said, it was a great day. It was awesome. But then to get Cash App to basically paying us back what we spent on them and how we blessed them, it negates, in a way, I think there's an argument to be made, like we'll still get blessed for it or whatever, but it kind of tainted the joy that experience brought me. The ability to be able to bless like that. Well, it's like if you just paid me back, it's like you just paid me back. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? But here's what you got to think through is, and again, like I said, I've been on both sides as well. And I had this one experience happen to me. There was when I was playing in the praise and worship band at one of our youth services. And there was this kid who's really good at guitar and like taking care of your guitars. So to bless me, he was like, hey, can I take your guitar home for a tune-up? And I was like, sure. He took it home, he tuned it up, put new strings, washed it, cleaned it, fixed the pickups, like basically gave the thing a tune-up for free. And he just wanted to bless me. And I remember I got it back and I was so thankful. He didn't have to do that. It was over the top. He did such an amazing job. And I told the youth pastor there, I said, man, it was so cool that he did this. I think I want to bless him with like 20 bucks or something. And the youth pastor told me, he's like, no, don't do that. And I was like, what? Because I'm thinking, man, he blessed me. I want to bless him back. And that could be exactly what this other family was doing to us. I want to bless him back. But the youth pastor was like, no, don't do that because you negate the blessing. See, now you're just paying him for his work. Just receive it. Just receive it. God will get blessing to him, and maybe you do it in another way or something later on. But in this instance, with this sort of blessing transaction, if you just give him 20 bucks, you basically just paid him. And I never thought about it like that before. And I had to think on it for a minute. Like I had to kind of meditate on that and be like, okay, what do I think about that? And over time, I really understood what he was meaning. And then with this incident the other day, I was like, I knew exactly what he meant. Because I felt that. I was like, no, I wanted to be a blessing. I didn't want you to pay me back. That kind of takes a little bit of the joy out of it for me, right? Kind of dims the spark a little bit. So thinking through that, when there are, and here's the deal, it's like, the fact that she paid us back, I think is indicative of thoughts, behaviors, and patterns when it comes to the blessing and how this all works in general. Let me tell you another story. Let's see if these stories paint my point. There was a buddy of mine, and he's even a little bit younger than me, very successful, and he's a multi-millionaire. It was his birthday party at a restaurant. And it was this cool restaurant where you could all be outside, so we were all like kind of standing and talking versus sitting. So we were all standing, hanging out, having a great time. I remember it was an awesome summer night. It was great. And so before, I was like, okay, Lord, what should I give him? I want to give him a gift. What should it be? And I just kind of had the thought of a $100 bill. So went to the ATM, got him a $100 bill. And then we got there, do the thing where like, yo, what's up, bro? Happy birthday. You know, you put it in your hand, kind of like you're doing one of these, but you're giving him the money. And I mean, it was obvious. It wasn't like super secret or anything. And some people saw it. And then later, I was talking to them, and they were like, dude, I saw you give him cash. Like, how much did you give him? I was like, I gave him 100. And they're like, you know he's a millionaire, right? You know he doesn't need money. And it hit me. They don't understand giving. See, I'm not giving him I'm not giving him $100 because he needs it. If that's how you're making your decisions on how you give, you don't understand giving. You don't understand the blessing flow. See, the blessing flow is about being obedient. I was obedient to the thought of generosity I had to pay for these people at the zoo and then to buy everybody all the fun snacks and drinks and all that stuff. I was just being obedient. But you're not thinking about it like that. See, I didn't give that guy $100 because he needs it. I gave it because I was obedient. And I'm sure he probably gave that $100 away by the time we left the restaurant. Like, he's super generous too, but that money was flowing through him. He might have given it to somebody I don't know. But because I was obedient, that blessing, that money got into the hands of the right people. Flew through me, flowed through me, flowed through my friend, got to its destination, got to the right spot. Maybe. But I'm obedient. So even with my friends and paying for all the fun zoo stuff, it's like, hold on. See, most likely she's thinking that decreased me that day. Oh, it was so thankful, but look, we don't need the money. I don't want you to, I don't want you to have to like spend that money on us because we don't need, like, we could have paid for it ourselves and all these different things, and like weird feelings of guilt and unworthiness and, man, I don't really deserve it. I don't need it. A little bit of pride. I'm not saying she's thinking these things. If you're watching this, she might be watching this. I'm not saying you're thinking this. I'm just explaining thought patterns and processes I've seen that happen a lot, and I want everybody watching this to examine yourself and check yourself. And what I'm doing aligned with the word? Is there some pride involved? Is there some ego involved? Is there some fear and some lack, some scarcity involved? And what I mean by you don't understand how the blessing flows is me paying for all that stuff didn't decrease me $150. It increased me infinitely. Because now my money moved into God's kingdom where it can be multiplied exponentially, 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold return on that money. It didn't decrease me at all. That increases me. And now I've got room for new money to flow into my life. And God's saying, hey, very good, Trav. You are operating through generosity. Let's make sure you always got money to operate and flow with in generosity. But if we're the type of people who can't receive it, if we can't receive that blessing, and I feel like you got to pay them back or pay them something, and I think that's hindering the flow in your life. See, that's kind of what I'm really getting at here, is if you feel like you're the type of person, you see things like, oh, we don't take handouts in this family. That's pride. Oh, look, we don't need it. Give it to somebody who needs it. You don't understand. You don't get it. And because you don't get it, because you don't understand, because you haven't explored this to see how money flows in the kingdom, that's hindering your blessing. You're probably living paycheck to paycheck or close to that if you think this way. You're probably not flowing in the full financial potential and abundance that God has for you if you're thinking this way. Let's just look into some scripture. Let's go to Luke 6:38. You guys have heard this one. Give, and gifts will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Now listen, this is an Amplified Classic. You've heard the scripture before, and it says, shall men give unto your bosom? And you're like, what's a bosom? I mean, like, I kind of know, but that's weird. But listen to it. The Amplified just tells you what it is. It pulls out the original meanings. Give, okay, a command. And gifts will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will they pour into the pouch by the bosom of your robe and used as a bag. So back in the day when you're wearing your robe and your tunic and whatever they wore, it would form a little pouch right here, and they would often use that to carry their money and their stuff, like their little pouch, right? So it's just saying men are going to give unto your wallet. The pouch formed by the bosom of your robe and used as a bag. For with the measure you deal out. Now this is the part we usually forget when people are teaching and preaching the scripture. For the measure that you deal out, with the measure you use when you confer benefits to others, it will be measured back to you. So in other words, if you are giving and blessing people with little spoonfuls, that's what you'll get back. If you're giving and blessing people with giant bowlfuls of blessing, that's what you'll go back. If you're using a dump truck to heap blessings on people, you'll get dump truck loads of blessing back on you. That's a pretty cool way to look at it. Let's look at another way that money flows. Let's go, you guys know this is my favorite set of financial scriptures, 2 Corinthians 9. And it's just amazing in the Amplified Classic. So the whole concept is money in this scripture. They're talking money here. They're talking about a financial gift and offering that the church is preparing to give to Paul. It says this, verse 6. Remember this, he who sows sparingly and grudgingly will also reap sparingly and grudgingly. Now think about that. Have you ever reaped sparingly and grudgingly? That might be what's playing into the people I mentioned in the story. Because they sow sparingly and grudgingly, perhaps that's why it's hard for them to reap. He who sows generously, that blessings may come to someone, will also reap generously and with blessing. That's who we're trying to be. The person who sows generously, that blessings may come to someone. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sow generously so blessings come to these families, to these kids, to whatever, even to the millionaire guy, like whatever. That's what we're trying to do. So you're trying to be that person. They will reap generously and with blessing. That's cool. All right, going on verse 7. Let each one give as he's made up in his own mind and purposed in his heart. Not reluctantly or sorrowfully or under compulsion, for God loves, he takes pleasure in, prizes above other things, and is unwilling to abandon or do without. A cheerful, joyous, prompt to do it giver whose heart is in their giving. Go reread this for yourself. That's who we're trying to be, right? Our heart is in our giving. We give generously. And we do it cheerfully. It does. It feels good. It feels good being able to bless people, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. Verse 8. And God, so you just figure, do verse 6, do verse 7, and you get verse 8. God is able to make all grace, and it says this, every favor and earthly blessing come to you in abundance, so that you may always and under all circumstances and whatever the need be self-sufficient, possessing enough to require no aid or support, and furnished in abundance for every good work and charitable donation. I'm going to have more than enough to give to every good work and charitable donation. I'll have what I need to pay my bills, and then have whatever I need left over to give. Now, is giving to those kids a good work? I think so. Man, let's make the zoo awesome. Let's make memories. Cool, let's do it. Giving $100 to my multimillionaire friend, is that a good work? Yeah, you know why? Because I was obedient. The set of scripture is powerful. Go back, study this, get it in for yourself, please. Check it on the Amplified Classic. It goes on, verse 10. God provides seed for the sower. It does not say he provides seed for the hoarder of money. The one who is afraid, the one who will only put it in their savings account and never spend it, use it, or sow it. It doesn't say he gives you seed. He gives seed to the person who sows it. So I'm here wanting to sow seed. God's going to make sure money always flows to me, flows to you, because you're generous, because you do verse 6, verse 7, you get verse 8, you get verse 9, and you get verse 10, and you get verse 11, and you get verse 12, and it's awesome. Go reread this for yourself. Get it in you. But understanding how money flows. And you might be blocking your blessing because you are reaping grudgingly. Oh, why didn't they? Oh, it feels weird. I feel guilty taking your money. I feel like I'm decreasing you, taking from you in order to increase me, and I don't need it. We're fine. We got enough to pay the bills. It's good. We can put it on credit card, whatever. Chill. You don't understand. Trav, why'd you give him money? He's a multimillionaire. Why'd you give him money? He didn't need it. You don't understand. You don't get how money flows, how blessing comes. We can live this life. And, years and years and years ago, even before I was married, God gave me the sentence. He said, Travis, you can have a lifestyle of getting, just have a lifestyle of giving. That's a great way to look at it. Super simple. A lifestyle of giving begets a lifestyle of getting so that you can continue your lifestyle of giving. That's the key, guys. We're not hoarding money. We're not stacking money. I mean, we are, but we're using it strategically. Okay? We teach how to do that. But this is not a fear-based scenario. We are not hoarding money out of fear. No. Money flows to us and then through us. But the best part is, it always comes to us. Money just circulates, guys. There's no such thing as wasting money. The only way you'd waste money is if you took physical dollar bills and burned them in a trash can. But you're not. You buying something, you buying the VIP tickets, you buying the merchandise, you buying the gear, you buying the big ice cream cones, all that stuff, it's not wasting money. It's only wasting money if you don't understand how money circulates, how money flows, how money comes and money goes. You don't understand. That's the only time you can waste money. All you need to do is spend a little bit of time in the Word. Man, subscribe to this channel. Go back. I got so many videos on money and blessing and finances and investments and how the kingdom works around all of that. Go get this in you. Go understand how money flows. Man, God is so good. Be able to receive a blessing. Let it be a blessing. That incident with the guitar was a great learning experience for me. Just let it be a blessing to you. You don't have to pay him. You don't have to bless him back. God will handle that part. Just receive the blessing. Because if you can't do that, like I said, there's probably some pride involved. And when there's pride involved, 1 Peter 5 talks about God frustrates the proud. So sometimes you might be frustrated with your finances. Well, maybe there's some pride around your money. And even if you don't have a lot, you don't have to have a lot of money to have pride involved. You can have very little and have pride involved. That's why people talk about, man, the rich are greedy. Dude, I know way more poor people who are greedy than rich people. I'm just saying. I know a lot of rich people, and zero of them are greedy. You know, people will argue, well, there's rich people and some of them are greedy, some aren't, just like in poor. No. I know zero rich people who are greedy. Every single one I know is ultra generous and inspirational to me. I want to be generous at that level too, and I will be. There's a lot of poor people, though, who are greedy. So don't get it twisted, all right? That's not how it works. We need to understand how money flows. And there's way more scriptures than that, but that's two that you can start with. Luke 6:38 and 2 Corinthians 9, verse 6. You can go all the way to 15, and it talks about all these things about how money flows. Let me hit you with one more while we're here. Let's go to Philippians 4:17. Giants eat peas and carrots. Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians. That's for somebody. All right, Philippians 4:17. Paul says this. Look, I don't seek your gift. It's not that I'm eager for your gift. Again, this is another context of a financial offering. There's a lot of financial scriptures in this book. Here's another one. He says this. It's not that I seek or am eager for your gift, for your money, but I do seek and I am eager for the fruit which increases to your credit. It's the harvest of blessing that is accumulating to your account. I want to give you an opportunity to give because you're going to get a harvest of blessing that accumulates to your account, and that's what I want. I want you to have the harvest of blessing. I want your blessing stack, your blessing credit to be accumulating in your account, your heavenly account. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to give, or I'm going to give you an opportunity to receive a blessing. I'm going to give you an opportunity to increase your income at this offering, to tithe and to give and to sow and to bless. I mean, that's what Luke 6:38 is saying to me. That's what 2 Corinthians 9, 6 through 12 is saying to me. Man, giving is the opportunity to increase your income. But you can't do it sparingly and grudgingly, or you will reap sparingly and grudgingly. Remember Luke 6:38, the measure you use to give is the measure they will use back to you. Sow a little bit, you're going to get a little bit. Sow a lot, you're going to get a lot. And each time you do it, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more. So blessings come back to you more than what you gave out. Man, that's a great way to live. That lifestyle of getting starts with a lifestyle of giving. And then you get more getting so that you can keep on giving. It's a fun place and a fun way to live. I love you guys. That's how the blessing flows in your life. Again, if you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate hitting that like button. Subscribe to this so that you're signed up to see more and more of these videos and trainings and lessons, because I want you to live the increased life. If you want me and my team's help getting there, there's links in the description below that'll give you your next steps. I love you guys. See you in the next one.